Good evening. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of Star Trek Discovery, Episode 6, Scavengers. Yeah, Space-Time episode. They've been doing that a lot. Also a little bit of Distant Cousins story. They have a black box thing in it that they're looking for in this one. On a scavenger planet. Scavengers. It's not like a Transformers episode. The back an Armada episode back in the day. No, it's not. Booker is captured by a chain group. The chain group. The Andorian Orion Syndicate chain have him prisoner on the planet. The Discovery has been updated, and they've put an A on the hull, and they made the detachable nacelles. A lot of odd stuff. Not sure what that's for. I mean, if warp breaches happen, wouldn't the nacelles blow up? So the Discovery's going to leave to go on some mission. Mission is assigned to some other humanitarian mission, but before it leaves, they have the ship shows up with the cat having flown the ship, or it was on autopilot actually. The cat didn't fly the ship. Then the cat would be a goose instead of what she is. Grudge, yeah. Goose. From Marvel. That should be a Cthulhu alien cat creature. The scene where Tilly takes care of the cat, that's actually from this episode. Also, this episode was similar to the episode The Shoot. That there was a device on their necks that would blow up and take their head off if they ran to the barrier. It was a Voyager episode. It's a little bit like that. They referenced Bajorans. They referenced a ship that was floating that crashed. There was footage of that from the Trek. Mentioned on Trek Yards. There was footage of the ship crashing, coming down and crashing. That's in this episode. There's like a hovering ship, and it goes poof. And it is a ship from their era, so it's not like it's a future ship. It literally is one of the ships from that they kept around from 900 years ago. Somehow it's still intact, and it went poof. Yeah, so that's spoiler. There's a ship in it. Kind of a spoiler, but yeah, they have to escape the scavenger planet. Your basic idea. We have the spy lady and Burnham going out on the spy lady, Giorgio from the Terran Empire, and they're going out on the universe. But she keeps blacking out every time somebody mentions Tyler or Klingons or something. She keeps blacking out, passing out and stuff. Some sort of a like a kill switch in her, I guess, that keeps going off. They probably should fix that. Tilly and the cat is only a brief scene. I don't know if she got the cat back in the box or not. Burnham and Booker, spoiler, they escape. They go and later on, kiss in the turbolet. Also, the bug-eyed alien, the tall bug-eyed alien, critter, the dude, the gray dude, keeps appearing and reappearing using a transporter. There's also a B story of Stamets and Thal from. She discovers Thal is talking to her boyfriend, who is her like spiritual. I guess his soul is inside her, in addition to memories from the Trill, somehow. Like a Transformer from Transtech. They're taking cues from all Transformers, Mush, and the Sparks. Yes. But yeah, we're just at the finale now, uploading it, which is why this is late in coming. This is not the finale of Star Trek, though. It's the finale of all Transformers Mush season. Transformers. Sure. Why not? It's all right. Yeah, it's fun. action set pieces, drama. She disobeys orders, of course, and she has to be punished. She's down to a science officer. Yeah, yeah, but what is the episode like? I've been doing all these reviews and immediately comparing it to something else because there's a lot of space-time and star crackers in there. More so than Distant Destinies this time. More star crackers. If we had the budget, it would look like this episode. It would be an episode where Clark, we didn't have the budget of our fan film back in the 2012, the 2011 update of our fan film from back in the day, which started in 1992. If we didn't have that, if we had a budget, our sci-fi movie would be somewhere between Star Wars and Firefly and Star Trek, somewhere in the middle. So yeah, it would be like this. It'd be like a whole episode would be just the scavengers and planets and spaceships and pirates and all that stuff. Yeah, Raxler and Clark. But yeah, this is Space Vanguards is the name of it now. USV. Also you have your Canary Space, which was just and you have so in Space-Time Eye and Cillian Space, of course, which is this was based on. I wonder if this planet they visited was actually one of the planets from the Cillian saga. Possibly. Yeah, it probably was. They didn't say what the planet was, but it was a scavenger planet. It looked more like something in the Star Crackers, but it could be analogous to one of the planets visited in the Cillian saga flashback, Fontana and Clark's story. It could be a planet that's descended from one of those wrecked worlds. Probably the TV planet, would be my guess. But it could be one of the other ones. It could be the mobster planet. It could have devolved into that planet. It could be that planet. It could be the Roman planet evolved into that. But the Roman planet, of course, a parody of the Magna Roma from classic Trek, of course. As well as the Miri planet. It's a planet from classic Trek. That they also visit, the Miriam planet in our version. Yeah, Silly Trek, Star Trek, they've been connected for over 40 years, so over 50 years almost. Yes, 40 years, let's say. Because, yeah, I don't think I was doing Star Trek when I was 10. Only a little bit. Yeah, so it's an interesting, thing of this season. The character development is way better. The story writing is way better. There's Rachel, Burnett something, who's writing it. Is better at it. The producer. So it wasn't that they got rid of Kurtzman. That other group is wrong. They let Kurtzman loosened up on the production staff and said, Rod Roddenberry and other ladies should help out instead, and they brought back Fuller for some consultants on it, so to make it fit better. So yeah, that's why this season is better. They have a different production staff. Now they always try to blame the writing staff and the direction staff, and you can't really blame the writing staff. Yeah, not really. The writers, when we come up with a story, it's not like we're in charge of the story. We don't run the show. That's what Mike Gemelt got wrong. You don't run the show. You're the story. They're a story guy on the story. They tell you, come up with a script in a couple of nights and bring it in, and we'll film it in over a week or so. Maybe I think the new show has 10-day periods. Roughly. Back in the day, though, it was a week. Next Generation was literally a week. You crank out a full episode from beginning to end in a week. That means I had to write the script for a typical 45-minute episode in less than 2 nights. Wow, that's pretty impressive. I'm assuming they had a whole writer's room would help with each individual scene and everything, which is how that might confuse things. Also, modern reality television, since the late 80s, has pretty much messed up shows to the point that you get either procedural shows or you get odd exploratory shows or you get scripted soap opera. This season is trying for scripted soap opera with a little bit of like scavenger shows and stuff. So that works. It's yeah, and Mark's cards pointed out last Thursday, and it's Thursday again. I won't speak to him soon. Was that yeah, the All Transformers Mush, which is similar to Star Trek this season, is basically a space soap opera with robots in it. Or it's a space soap opera for boys with a little bit of other stuff thrown in for men, I guess. Or men children want their Transformers to come back. There's this from the yeah, you know, today I went to the Walmart and found the reintroduction of 30th anniversary He-Man figures. Skeletor and He-Man had to have them, you know, so it's awesome. So yeah, I should have grabbed some of those DC ripoff ones from like last year, because they would have been collector's items. Should have done that. I didn't think of it though. But yeah, yeah, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Skeletor. Never actually had Skeletor. Had the other guy. I haven't. Didn't have original G1 Skeletor. I had like Mechanic and Beastman, but not Skeletor. Oddly enough, I think Tim had him, but John had him. I mean, Mark's cards had him. Anyway, so. Anyways. Of course I had the mechanical one. Of course, it's a robot. Yeah. So, I think he had Tila, too. Yeah. I didn't have that guy. I had Man-at-Arms. Like, David's, Johnny's Man-at-Arms. One of his Man-at-Arms. It was broken. His visor was cracked. I don't know what happened to him. Long gone. Anyway, so yeah, that was a Steve Clark show. So there you go. So well, he wrote the pilot. Anyway, so we have yeah, All Transformers Mush and stuff. We have Star Trek, and not a bad episode. Very soap opera there. What's with the 8-minute previews though? What about the preview? Like usually if your story is only 42 minutes long, an 8-minute preview is kind of long before the credits roll. It's like, no, do the credits like 3 or 4 minutes in. Because all that other stuff. Oh, yeah. So, programmable matter. Be a cool name for a Star Trek mag for that season. Programmable matter. Very Dune-like. Doom. A little bit of Doom, too, as well. Doom and Doom. Not sure if they'll go back to the scavenger land. Anyway, so Berman thing. Yeah, the Burnham. Not Berman. That's Rick Berman. That was the producer years ago. Yeah, different guy. Different name, spelling, and everything. Also, the Admiral guy is clearly Thamat from Friends, from the Silly Train. But yeah, not so Thamat with a beard. Because Thamat on occasion had a beard. Yeah. Just trying to look like Saltine. Saltine, I should say. I think I changed it to Saltine. Salton sounds a little weird. It's an ocean. Some Salton Sea. That sounds funny. Saltine, that's funny. Anyway, as a character. So we have, not really in the movie, not really in the episode. Yeah, I really have very little to say about this episode. It was alright. I understand that this is the November sweeps at this point, so this is the November sweeps episode. So I'm assuming that, yeah, probably, I don't know if it's a rerun next week or not, but probably. Getting close, so yeah, to the, and yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. There was a fan online that made what they would look like in the costumes. He put the heads on someone else's body, trying to make their heads look right. Kind of cool. Then they didn't change their uniforms. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm actually kind of surprised that, like, if the temporal Cold War happened in the 26th century and they're in the 32nd, wouldn't they long since know about that and send them home immediately? Maybe that's what fucked up the timeline. Maybe her suit fucked up the time. I'm still going with the premise, and I don't know. I'm still going with this premise. That version Michael Burnham's mother disappeared is Michael Burnham's mother isn't Michael Burnham's mother. Michael Burnham's mother is Michael Burnham. She's her own mother. And like, and she and Booker hook up. And in the future they have a kid. They send the kid. Yeah, exactly. She's her mother. I think it's what they're gonna do. Or maybe Stamets is her mother. No. They're not gonna do that. But if they did, that would be really cheesy. Sideways universe. No, it's not. So they've got kind of the same thing going on. Mars and the synths and Picard and Byrne over here and blowing up stuff. And finding black boxes, which it didn't look like a box. It looked like a hypo with like a pen with things stuck to it. Key gauze stuck to it. And now the black boxes in Canary Space are similar to the Pandora's box, or the Mother box in DC, or the Power Glove Infinity Gauntlet in a sense in some ways in Marvel, and some of the other the Infinity Gauntlet. There's kind of similar to that entropy devices. The trans tech equivalent would be the Creation Matrix, a device or a Chaos Matrix that causes chaos to happen, entropy to happen. It would beg the question: does chaos happen? And it also beg the question, like, Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat. This is a physics. It's a thought experiment. No cat was harmed. in which during the atomic era, Schrödinger was all like, he imagined what it would be like to put a cat in a box where there was a radioactive element or poison. It's radioactive element first because it was during the atomic era. Radioactive element or food. The box to see whether it would perish or live. Well, technically the radioactive element would kill it immediately, so that would be that. So they changed it to poison. That no cats were harmed. But entropy and chaos being what it is, and which dark matter and dark energy, which we don't know, which we can't tell what that is yet. Programmable matter. No, that's different. But those things are different. Like chaos is a different thing, right? So there's a third element of Schrödinger's equation that they haven't figured out yet. The third element is that the subatomic level things change for no apparent reason, possibly led by weak forces and strange energies at atomic levels. So if it builds up in a thing that's large molecular, come on. So if it builds up in a thing that's large and molecular, then like there's a third option. The cat isn't hurt by the poison or the nuclear fuel. It's not going after the food. It sees a way to get out of the box. It's like it sits there waiting patiently until the scientist gets close enough. Cat pops out of the box and shreds the face of the evil scientist who was trying to encapsulate it, thus escaping chaos from order. There is the third part to Schrödinger's equation. The cat gets out, and he kills. Anyway, so there's your physics thought experiment. Yes, unlike Mercedes Black, the Speed of Dark, I have the Speed of that. Unlike the Speed of Dark book, I've come up with a different version of Schrödinger's equation, which does explain reality television and Star Trek Discovery being better in the third season than the other seasons. The law of averages clearly dictates with 7 other Star Trek series, whereas the first couple seasons weren't that good. The third season was better. There was more order from chaos in that case. But this is the Firefly principle. This is like chaos from order. This is like, okay, you have a show that you film serialized, put on TV, but Fox TV airs it out of sequence, so you have no idea what the hell's going on. That is chaos. That is the cat jumping out of the box. You don't even get what the show is doing until they release the DVD box set later, and then you're like, oh, yeah, they should have shown this in order. It's serialized. What are they doing? Same thing with Discoveries. All 3 seasons are serialized. Kind of have to watch them in serial order. So yes, they're using the serial constant, and it is a soap opera, space opera soap opera, and yeah. And actually, the transphobic people that were freaking out over the Thal character, which is retarded, they were freaking out over the Thal character. She's not retarded. They're stupid. The people that were freaking out are stupid. But they kind of cheated it a little bit. Because they're saying that her, like, soulmate, which is a little silly for teenagers to have soulmates. But then again, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're short-lived and they have soulmates at 16. I don't know. I guess it's possible. But, I mean, it certainly seemed like it when I was about 16. But it didn't happen. But yeah, the idea that you have your, like, you have your, you know, yeah, when 16 or 17, yeah, there was like 2 girlfriends that year. So no, it wasn't a soulmate. Oh, this is the one for me. Nope. Week later, no, we'll find somebody else. That's what really happens. But no, in this case, soulmates. Okay, the character is a soulmate. Okay. But I know she's the actress is gender fluid. So, but she's playing a girl, and she's genetically a girl, and she's got a boyfriend who's in the universe. It's like, well, she's technically playing a straight person then, even though she's not. So they still skirted around it. They still didn't go there. They still haven't gone there. She's technically straight. Now, it would be bold as if they had said that other person was totally androgynously a girl and the other girl, and then, you know, they didn't do that. They just look a little androgynous because the character with the short hair and the, you know, kind of boyish but feminine-looking characters, trans characters. But yeah. Yeah, the acting was way better in this season. Hopefully, the teenage character is not going to end up like Wesley. Although she does fix the spore things. That's kind of like what Wesley would have done. Uh-oh, Wesley Crusher. No, Wesley interviewed Mary Wiseman, a silly character earlier. But yes, yeah, I was watching some of those Ready Room things with Will Wheaton. Judging by the Ready Rooms with Will Wheaton, I think you would like what we did to his character in Star Trek Chimera. Will, you should watch it. Go find Star Trek Chimera 8405 and watch it. It's a little funky, but you'll probably like it. Anyway, so so yeah, now they skirted the issue, but they did have Stamets and his partner discuss it. Oh my! So that was something. Oh my. So yes, that's it for this episode. This is episode 6, Scavengers.